There were places that I would sit but didn't fit because my heart yearned for the acceptance. I would lose myself in the very box because I conformed to the deformity of normalcy. I conformed to the deformity of normalcy. I experienced a certain pain from being pushed into a direction that didn't complement my purpose. I let deception of quantity dim the quality of my reflection because I didn't look like Christ. But I definitely resemble me. In my eyes were the scars from the times I looked to people for a love that couldn't understand it enough to offer. My skin was thick with mildew from being left to soak in a sea of tears that I should have cried, but instead it poured from my pores like sweat to consume me. My hair, my glory, brittle from the dry places I laid in worship of both the undeserving and the too small to contain what I poured. My lips was trapped by the rugged stale of despair because my circumstance would snatch any moisture there was from the air. I was undone, aloof, exhausted, perplexed. I was alone. In the places that I would sit but didn't fit because its call made me an exception. I watched history unravel in my bloodline where like a domino effect the ones before me would fall to the same tricks as the ones before him, but there I stood, trying to contend with perception of perfection to be like them. I would fail in that pursuit, and their words would later swirl around my mind like a record, and my belief penned to make the music of their tauntings a reality. They called it teaching. I called it staring. I mean, they called it reaching, and I I thought it was rearing because when I realized that I sat in places that I didn't fit, I was shoved back into stuff, into the compliance. Their idea of who I should be was based upon gifts, but not the oil that accompanied them. The words they spoke over me were curses of tradition and not my God given path. My traumas would push me back into their boxes because it became afraid that I would divorce the need of it. I, like a tent being tousled by the winds of assignment, but being held down by expectations, shook violently for freedom to travel as God saw fit. I didn't fit. Oh my God, I didn't fit. I didn't fit. I didn't fit. I couldn't fit. I couldn't fit. And it was painful because they didn't understand that what they saw me as and me striving to be it pulled me out of the will of God so far that I couldn't even recognize myself. Never fit.